Right now, a tiny electronic pulse is waiting inside your computer. It is completely silent. It is poised on the edge of a microscopic copper pathway, ready to change the world or destroy it. You do not think about it. Why would you? You feel safe behind your glowing screen. The digital world feels entirely permanent to you. It feels like an unbreakable mountain of pure logic and perfect steel. But that is an absolute illusion. Do you know what lies beneath it? Every single application you use relies on a hidden foundation. It is called the cloud. The cloud is not an ethereal mist floating peacefully in the sky. It is a collection of massive concrete warehouses filled with thousands of spinning drives. How often do you think about them? Inside one of these warehouses in Virginia, a critical system was falling behind. The billing system was running slowly. An experienced engineer noticed the delay. They decided to intervene. Was it truly necessary? A standard maintenance tool was opened. This tool allowed the removal of a small group of active servers. The intention was to replace them with fresh instances. It was a completely routine operation. Why did it fail? The engineer typed out the command string. A single extra character slipped into the line. It was a tiny mistake that any human could make. Have you ever made a typo? The instruction was sent. The master system received the text. It did not see a mistake because it only follows instructions literally. It began to execute the command immediately. Within seconds, the core index servers began to disappear. These servers were the map of the entire system. Without the map, nothing could be found. Where did everything go? Dr. Richard Cook studied these exact moments for decades. He wrote a landmark paper about how complex systems fail. He discovered that large systems always operate in a broken state. They are held together by continuous human adaptation. Do you believe your systems are perfect? The architecture of the modern internet is incredibly complex. It contains billions of moving parts. No single human can understand every interaction. This creates massive hidden traps. Professor James Reason introduced a powerful concept to explain this. He called it the Swiss cheese model of human error. Every defense system has holes like a slice of cheese. Usually, the holes do not line up. What happens when they do? On that Tuesday afternoon, the holes aligned perfectly. The command line lacked a safety guard. The system executed the deletion too quickly. The monitoring tools immediately went dark. Dr. Nancy Levison has analyzed software accidents at MIT for years. She argues that human error is a myth. The error is actually a failure of system design. The system allowed a single keystroke to cause an absolute catastrophe. Who is truly to blame? The deletion spread like a wildfire. It wiped out the index servers for the storage system. This system was called Simple Storage Service, or S3. S3 is the giant filing cabinet of the internet. It holds trillions of files for millions of companies. What happens when the filing cabinet vanishes? The digital world ground to a sudden halt. Popular websites refused to load. Smart light bulbs stopped working in thousands of homes. Delivery apps could not track their drivers. Even the AWS status dashboard remained green because its own status icons were broken. Is that not ironic? The engineers could not see what was happening. Their tools relied on the very system that was dying. They were flying blind in a digital storm. The entire tech industry watched in absolute silence. How could one person do this? The recovery process was painfully slow. The servers could not just be turned back on. They had to undergo a full integrity check. Every piece of data had to be verified. This process took hours of intense effort. The engineers worked under immense pressure. The financial losses were climbing by the millions every minute. The internet was bleeding capital. Would it ever come back online? This event changed the way architects build systems. They realized that total isolation is an illusion. Everything is connected by invisible digital threads. A failure in one region can ripple across the entire planet. Are you prepared for the next one? We build taller towers on fragile foundations. We trust systems we do not fully understand. We create automation that executes our mistakes at the speed of light. It is a dangerous game. Why do we keep playing it? The human mind is poorly equipped for this scale. We think linearly, but our systems fail exponentially. A single tap of a finger can trigger a global avalanche. It is a sobering thought. Do you feel in control? The internet eventually returned to life. The servers restarted and the filing cabinet was rebuilt. The broken links healed and the world moved on. But the vulnerability remains. It is built into the very nature of code. The next time you press a key, remember that a tiny electronic pulse is waiting inside your computer.